Welcome back, brothers and sisters of Christ. My name is Brianna and I'm back with another video. For today's video is wait on God. God restores what you've lost. This is a personal experience for me that is just it was crazy. I want to start off by saying I wrote this topic March 6th of 2025 and here it is May 11th of 2025. This is something that I wrote before it even happened. And the Lord had me write this topic to reassure me and assure me that it will come to pass. So, I want to share a story with y'all of me losing my engagement ring. So I got engaged November 3rd of 2024. The ring was too big. And I waited to get its size, which was a stupid mistake. So on Thanksgiving, remind y'all I got engaged November 3rd of 2024. Thanksgiving was only like, 3 weeks after. My fiance and I decided to go to a restaurant to watch a football game. Less than a month of us being engaged. You know, I went to the restroom. I went to change my daughter's diaper and I used the restroom. I came back from the restroom. I'm sitting there and I don't know how long I was sitting there before I realized. And I'm like, I don't have my ring. So I rushed back to the bathroom looking for my ring, and it's a small bathroom. It's only 2 stalls. The ring is not there. So I'm like, I had asked one of the ladies, I'm like, did you go to the bathroom? And she's like, no, I only went to the bathroom when we first got here, but that's it. Why? What's wrong? I'm like, I lost my engagement ring. She helped me look for it. I did see her go to the bathroom, but I couldn't remember if it was before or after me. And you know when people be saying, like, the person that helped you look for it is usually the person that took it. Because I'm like, it couldn't have went down the drain. Because the way their drain was set, it wasn't an opening. You know, it was like a little vent thing in their drain. So I'm like, the only thing is I could have flushed it down the toilet. But honestly, I just don't think that was the case. You know, my fiance seen one of the workers go in after me. She went in to clean. She claimed she didn't see anything. So at this point, I'm crying. I'm angry. You know, I'm sad. I searched high and low. I got on my knees in the restaurant and prayed. And to be honest, I already knew it was a wrap. But I'm like, Lord, I know you're not going to let me walk out of here without my ring. And he did. He let me walk out of there without my ring. I was so devastated. But before that, they came out, they said they had a ring, and I just knew it was mine. But I needed to, they asked me, you know, to show a pic to make sure it was mine or whatever. I showed them a pic, and then she ended up pulling the ring out. She's like, I'm so sorry, it's not yours, and it wasn't mine. So at this point, I just remember saying, like, God, you really finna let me leave without my ring. I got home, I was crying, and something my fiance said just calmed me down. I was so scared that he was angry with me because, like, when it first happened, I looked over and I seen his face at the restaurant, and I'm just like, come on now. It's an engagement ring that I just got literally less than a month ago. So I was scared he was angry with me. And he said, like, initially he was, but he got over it quick, like, at the restaurant. I could tell because the way he consoled and comforted me, I'm like, okay. You know, and the enemy be thinking he's slick because he was hoping that was going to have us get into a whole little argument and yelling match, like, you lost the ring. But anywho, he had said to me, he was like, it's okay, it's just materialistic, it can be replaced. And it just, like, a sense of calmness just came over me, and I heard the Lord say, listen to him. And I just calmed down. I was still sad, but I calmed down because I was like, oh my goodness. And I was just like, you're right. Like, I just had to sit there and think, like, this is something that can be replaced. It is materialistic. You know, now I was still praying that it was going to come up. You know, I reached out to the restaurant, and of course, they still was saying that it wasn't there. So eventually, I ended up giving up. But during this time, I was so confused. You know, I thought it was something I had done because that night I had a drink. And at that time, I wasn't really drinking. Well, at that time, I was drinking like once a month because that was in November. I had a drink in October. I had a drink in September, August. So I had got to the point where I was drinking once a month. I only had one drink at that restaurant. I was not drunk, but I can say I had like a slight buzz because I wasn't drinking like that. So, you know, you feel it quicker when you're not drinking like that. And I do feel like if I had been sober, I wouldn't have lost my ring completely sober, because you know, like, you just be, even when you're not drunk, it's like, well, for me at least, once alcohol get into my system, I feel like I don't pay attention as in certain instances as I would. Like, I feel like that's something I would have caught like instantly. But so yeah, I was confused. I thought it was something I had done. And I'm like, maybe it's because I was drinking. Like, am I being punished? Like, I was just like, why is this happening? You know, and we have to understand, this is something that I'm always saying. Like, things are going to happen to us. But I just wanted to understand, like, the why behind it. Needless to say, though, I haven't had a drink since. That was literally the last time on Thanksgiving that I had a drink. Like I mentioned before in my other video, cooler, none of that. Because I'm like, and it wasn't really even because of that. Like, that opened my eyes, but honestly, it just happened that way. But, you know, that was the last time. But anyway, I was thinking to myself, like, why did this happen? You know, I wasn't idolizing the ring. Don't get me wrong, I love the ring. It was beautiful. You know, I always thanked God for it. I always gave him the glory. I always gave him the praise. I was just so confused. So I didn't understand why this had happened. So I was hurt. You know, I thought God was a little mad at me or that I was being punished, but I just didn't know why. And the enemy thought he was slick because, you know, most people, when stuff like this happen, although it's not like a huge thing, but it's just something that's, you know, you hold dear to your heart, I guess. People will get mad, you know, and they'll turn their back on God when things don't go their way or any little convenience. The enemy thought that would be the case with me, baby, but I wasn't going. You know, I just wasn't going. I remained steadfast. Like, I'm like, Lord, what's tea? Like, you know, God, and then another thing, God got a little quiet on me. He did. He got a little quiet on me because I feel like he was testing me. He was testing my faith to see, what are you going to do in a situation like this? You know what I mean? When you feel like you're back against the wall, you feel like I'm not there, you feel like I did this or did that, but what are you going to do? Are you going to throw in a towel, or are you going to keep praising me? And baby, I kept praising him. I kept doing what I was doing. And the crazy thing is, me and the Lord got even closer during that period of time that I lost my ring. And I remember watching a video on YouTube, and the girl was saying, like, when something happens that you don't understand, ask God what it is that you need to learn from this situation. So I prayed that prayer. Like, I asked God, like, what is it that I need to learn from this situation? Because I don't understand. I'm confused. Lord, I need answers. And as time went on, like, you know, at that time, I didn't understand what was going on. But as time had went on, I realized I had learned so much from this situation. For one, all the stuff was temporary, materialistic, can be replaced. To trust God and his timing. To listen to my fiance. Let him take lead and comfort me. That God restores. He keeps his promises, which I didn't even get to that part yet, but I've learned so much from the situation. But when things like this happen, it's not that God is punishing you or that he's angry. We have to look at the bigger picture. You know, it will always reveal itself in due time, you know, not right away though. There's a lot of things I look back on from years ago and realize what God showed me and taught me by going through what I went through. And this was one of them. You know, I'm not saying that God made me lose my ring. You know, I mean, things just happen. It's life. But I do feel like God used that situation for his glory and for character building for me. I got something out of that experience. You know, don't always look at the negative in a situation. It opened my eyes to other things and other perspectives. And I didn't tell many people about this because honestly, I didn't even want to hear nothing negative. I didn't want to hear no negative feedback like, oh, somebody stole it. Oh, you should have did this. Which I'm sure somebody probably did take it. And, you know, I don't want to hear like, oh, you got to waste money. You got to buy another ring, you know, this, that, and this, that. Because it's not always about money. Like I said, we have to look at the bigger picture when these things happen. So down the line, I remember like having a dream. And in the dream, my baby sister and one of my cousins was helping me look for my ring. We was with my cousin in her vehicle, and we're in the car, we're looking for the ring. And I stopped and I was like, y'all, we're not about to find this ring, because I just realized I didn't lose this ring in your car. I lost this ring at a restaurant. And in the dream, I was so sad, and I just sat down and I asked God, like, am I going to get my ring back? And he said, yes, you're going to get your ring back. And I was like, it's going to be the same ring. He said, yes, it's going to be the same ring with your name engraved. Because I was supposed to get my name engraved the first time on my ring when I went to go get its size. But I didn't even get that far, child. But anywho, I remember waking up for that dream, and I had felt so at peace. Like, I knew it was from the Lord. And I honestly, like, the ring stuff just faded away. Like, it ain't gonna say every now and then I would think about it, but I was just so at peace, like, when I had that dream, because I knew the Lord was assuring me, like, yeah, you're getting your ring back. So I'm like, why am I worrying if I already know he's gonna give me my ring back? So I held on to that dream. I was confident that that was exactly what was going to take place and happen. Since I wrote this topic, more things have been added, so I got the... Okay, so I had been looking at the ring online. The ring had went on sale. It had went on a double sale. Like, it was on sale. Then when you put it in the cart, it was on another sale. So I'm stalking this ring until it was a financially smart decision to buy the ring. And I remember, like, okay, like, when we get our taxes, I'm going to buy the ring. And not in full. I'm going to make payments on it. But, you know, tell me why the taxes hit. The ring went out of stock. The ring went out of stock, baby. When I tell you I was devastated, and I told my fiance, he called and went up to the store, and both people, two separate people, told him that ring is not coming back in stock. It has been discontinued. So at this point, I know that God does not lie. He cannot lie, but I feel like I had been lied to. So I'm like, Lord, I thought you said I was getting my ring. How am I going to get my ring now? It is discontinued. I tried to find it at other stores. I'm looking on OfferUp, like, y'all, high and low for this ring. So at that point, I'm like, I'm not getting the ring. I was confused again. So I'm like talking to my fiance, like, I don't understand. Like, was I deceived? Was that the Lord in the dream? But I'm like, I know it was the Lord. I know the Lord's voice. And I felt it when I woke up. He gave me that peace feeling, like it was the Lord. But I'm like, it ain't looking too promising, baby. So I was so hurt about that. And then something ended up happening with my fiance's job as well that had took a slight toll on financials. So time went by. I'm still looking at the ring, because I still got a little bit of hope that this ring is going to come back in stock. So I'm still like, because it's still on the site, but it just says it's out of stock. So I'm just looking at the ring. One day I just get up, look, the ring is in stock, baby. The ring is in stock in every single size. And I'm like, they told my fiance, two different people told him that this ring is discontinued and it's in stock. So at this time, we in a financial, like, you know, I'm like, I don't think this is financially smart. And I remember in the bathroom, I'm like, geeked up. I'm like, Lord, the ring back in stock. I'm like, but how am I finna get the ring? And, you know, we going through what we're going through right now. And I heard the Lord say, I will make a way. So I'm like, okay. So I waited it out for a little bit, because we was finna go out of town. Like, it was a lot going on during this time. I waited it out, and boom, I ended up ordering the ring. But I was devastated. I was scared the whole time, because I'm like, is this ring really in stock? They said it was discontinued, not coming back. Is it really even in stock? So I kept calling, like, is it in stock? And they're like, yeah, everything looks fine with the order. Then I looked and it went on a sale. So I asked them to adjust it. They said they're going to adjust it. So I'm watching the ring. The night before the ring was, because they gave me an estimate date of when it was supposed to ship. The night before the ring shipped out, I got an email, because I was doing payments. One of them little, you know, when you make payments every 2 weeks. I got an email from them, And they like, your order has bin canceled and refunded. It wasn't from the jeweler, but it was from the third party that I was making payments to. Well, no, they said the order was adjusted, but they refunded me, right? So I'm like, I'm not about to get my ring. They don't have it. It's out of stock. And my fiance was like, well, it doesn't say it was canceled. It says that it was adjusted. But I'm like, they refunded me. You know what I'm saying? So the ring ended up getting shipped out and delivered. And I only paid $400 something. I don't even know. I'm still waiting to see, like, are they going to, because they said that the order was being adjusted. That was about 2 weeks ago, and they haven't said nothing. So I'm like, I don't even know if I'm finna have to finish paying for this ring. Like, they canceled it, and I don't have no way to pay. And I already put down, like, the $400 some on this ring. Then the situation that was going on, like, we was, like, beforehand with my fiance's job, the Lord ended up blessing it. When he said he was going to make a way. And y'all probably like, all this for a ring, child. This is the thing. The Lord said delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you all the desires of your heart. Whatever is important to us and whatever we care about, the Lord cares about. And when God makes a promise, baby, even if it ain't looking promising, he's going to come through. That ring went out of stock. They told me it was discontinued. I thought they canceled my order. But the Lord said, no. I told you, you getting your ring. You're getting the same exact ring. When I tell you I still haven't processed it, I am like mind blown. Because I was doubting my dream. I was second guessing, like, was that the Lord? It was the Lord. So when the Lord tells you something, you believe it the first time. It don't matter what it's looking like. When the Lord tells you something, understand that his promises will come to pass. See, we get weary and we get doubtful when it don't look like it. You know, the ring sold out. Y'all telling me it's discontinued. It ain't ever coming back. Does these people's word go above what the Lord has said? What the Lord has promised you? What the Lord has told you? No, it does not. Oh my goodness, the Lord is a promise keeper. Oh my goodness. I had did and it's so funny because he made me wait. Because when it first happened, I was trying to buy another ring off back because when the ring was still in stock, but it wasn't financially smart. That was before it went on all the sales. I tried to do an insurance claim. They were saying that we can't do that. It wasn't covered. Literally nothing was working out because God wanted me to trust him and God wanted me to be patient and God wanted me to wait on him. He was character building. He was building my character, baby. It was a test of my faith. And when you pass those tests, you will be rewarded. Whether you're looking for the reward or not, the Lord rewards those who wait on him. The Lord rewards those who trust in him, who have faith in him. Oh my goodness. I wasn't giving up. I was so hurt. I'm like, Lord, what is this? But I was not. I wasn't giving up on my Lord. I'm like, we gonna get through this because it ain't nothing but a ring, but it was like everything around it. I'm like, Lord, like, how could this happen? And Lord, it looked like you lied to me. Oh my goodness. Like, another thing that I learned, ladies, get your ring size right away. Don't wait. If it don't fit, go ahead and get it sized. That was a mistake. Wait on God. Trust God. Believe in God's word when he say that it will be done. I'm still in all about, I literally have not still processed it. My ring just got delivered last week and I still haven't even processed the fact that this all took place. How the Lord spoke to me in a dream and told me that I'm getting my ring. how they told me this ring was not coming back, and the Lord made sure it came back. The ring is out of stock now. How about that? I bought the ring. It went out of stock. It came back in stock because I was still watching it just to see. Because my fiance was like, watch the ring go out of stock when you buy it. So I went to go look. It was out of stock. But then it ended up coming back for a short period of time, and it's out of stock again. It's been out of stock ever since. And that was amazing to me. Because the Lord will literally move mountains to make something come to pass that we prayed about. To give us all the little desires of our heart. What's important to us, or what we want, you know what I mean? And I feel like I have been tested, and I feel like I passed the test, and I feel like because I passed the test, the Lord rewarded me, and I feel great about the fact that I believe that I passed the test. I passed the test from the Lord, because I didn't even realize that it was a test when I was going through it. It was when I got the ring. You know, when I ordered the ring, I'm like, I sat down and I really dawned on, and I'm like, I think the Lord was testing my faith. He was trying to see what was I going to do in a hard time. Was I going to turn my back on him? And I think that was one of the first and big tests for me. And it feels good when you pass a test from the Lord. Whether you get rewarded or not. Just knowing that you passed the test from the Lord is just like, man, it's mind-blowing. The Lord is so good. But I'm going to read a few scriptures. I got Psalms 31:14. But I trust in you, Lord. I say, you are my God. I got Psalms 91:2. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Psalms 27:14. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. If there's a promise that you're waiting on, that the Lord has already assured you that he is going to make come to pass, baby, keep holding on. Even if it don't look like it's coming to pass, it's coming to pass. God is not a liar. He cannot lie. He will not lie. He is a promise keeper. He will deliver those. He will grant those wishes. Those things will come to pass. Keep praising the Lord. Keep trusting in the Lord. Pass your test. Oh my goodness. The Lord is so good. He's so faithful. He is so faithful. Y'all just don't know. He is so good. So this was just a reminder that the Lord will restore what you have lost. Restoration is coming. In any and every aspect. You keep praising the Lord, but if this word is not for you, it's for somebody else. Remember, I'm telling y'all this because I love y'all. God bless.